We're talking with Paul Reiser. You may have seen him on television or the movies, for crying out loud. You seem to be in like everything. You have your hands in everything.
You know, the truth is, Mike, most shows, they don't even start up unless they check with me first. If I'm not involved, it's very rough for a show to get on the air. That's the sad truth.
I understand. You're doing a good job. You're letting some good shows on the air these days. There's a ton of great TV out there.
There sure is. There sure is.
But of course, I mean, right now though, it's Stranger Things is so huge, and you're, as Dr. Sam Owens, you're a reoccurring character on there, and so I got to ask for all the fans. You know, is Dr. Owens coming back for the next and supposed final season?
I don't know a thing. If I did know, I probably wouldn't be allowed legally to tell you. But I can honestly tell you, I don't know anything. People ask me what's happening next year, and I say, here's the truth: I don't even understand what happened last year. I can't always follow every intricacy of the show. And they don't tell me. I don't even think they've written the fifth season yet. So I honestly don't know if I'm involved. I hope so, because it's very popular. It sure is big. I'll tell you, I was this summer. I was over in Ireland. I was making a movie in Ireland, and people, on the streets, hey, Stranger Things, Dr. Owens, how are you? I went, no way. By the way, that was my very bad Irish accent. But it's just striking to me how extensive and deep the reach is. Netflix is boom. It's just on in every home across the world. And then, ironically, at about the same time that came out, I was in a couple of episodes of The Boys, which is on Amazon. I had done that last summer, and suddenly, hey, The Boys. And I'm going, who's watching that? Jeez, I mean, I didn't quite realize how big and how adamant and passionate the fans of that show are. Man, people love that world. So it's crazy that I'm in both of those shows, which are so not in my wheelhouse. Those are not shows that I would necessarily watch. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It really is.
Do you have you ever done like a Comic-Con or anything like that?
I have. Yes,
okay.
I have. They're insane.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the kind of fans you're dealing with on both these shows.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, there's no complaining here. I mean, I love it. But I mean, I never know. I've been doing this long enough and doing so many different things that it's always surprising to me that somebody will come over to me and quote something, it'll be a line from Beverly Hills Cop, which I did 40 years ago. I'm going, what? And sometimes they'll do it in a way that I go, I don't even recognize what you're doing. I had this one line in Beverly Hills Cop where and I say, hey, this is not my locker. And for some reason, I don't know why, Mike, that line, people remembered. It was so silly. 40 years later, I'm in an airport, and somebody will come over with a big smile and go, hey, that's not my suitcase. And I'll go, what? What? No, it's my suitcase. No, you get it? That's not my suit. I go, oh, okay. I'm not really thinking of that line from 40 years ago, but thank you. Anyway, as I say, no complaints. It's great. Right. All I want to do, I just want to get on stage and do stand-up, man. That's the crazy thing about this.
Let me ask you, if I could ask you about that, because you've had such great success in TV and in movies, and you've written books and everything. What is it that brings you back to doing stand-up comedy? And I'm not saying that it's beneath you. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying, what is it?
No, it's certainly not. But it's above me. It's trickier. It's harder. But when I started, I was in college. I was 18 the first time I went up on stage as a stand-up, and that's what I wanted to do, and that was my dream. I didn't watch movies and say, I want to be Al Pacino. I was like, no, I want to be like George Carlin. I want to be, I aspire, not that I would, but like watch Richard Pryor, watch Robert Klein, those guys. It's like, that was what appealed to me. So it's absurd to me if I stand back and look at this crazy course that I have been on these shows. And it's only in the last, several years that I've gotten back into doing stand-up at all, and I don't get to do it as much as I'd like, because the truth is, when you do it every night, which is when you started, you'd get up as often as you can, and it's a moving target. You never quite get it 100% right, and if you do, you won't the next night. It's just such a slippery thing, and it's engaging and it's exciting to me. And it's the live immediate response.
Yeah.
You do a show and a Stranger Things or something, like see the audience reaction for a year, and you're not in the room when it happens either. But stand up, they're right there. You're interfacing with live people, and that's most of it, to tell you the truth.
I know that you're also a musician, and I find it very similar that, you're right. It's live, it's there, the reaction's immediate, but also when you find yourself in that moment, like if you're doing stand-up or you're on stage, you're playing music, and that connection is there. It's like a high that you keep going after.
It is, it is, and I don't necessarily feel that doing acting. And even if you do, it's not something you can go, tomorrow I want to go do another scene. It's like, well, that scene is over. They're not coming back to do that scene. Where stand-up is like, I know from day one when I was just starting and I was terrible, if you have a great night, you go, oh boy, I can't wait to get up tomorrow and do it again. And if you have a bad night, you go, I can't wait to get up tomorrow and, turn this ship around.
Right.
So either way, the goal was always, I want to get on tomorrow. So it's just a thrill for me whenever I get to go out. And October 22nd, I'm going to be at the Cabot Theater in Beverly. And I've not been there. I've not performed in Beverly, I don't think. Sometimes I'll tell people, I've never been here, and they'll go, well, here's a picture of you 30 years ago playing here. Maybe I was. I don't remember.
Well, it's a beautiful North Shore community here in Massachusetts, right on the water. And the Cabot Theater is a lovely place. It's a really nice room. So
I am
awesome.
looking forward. I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
It's funny, sometimes if I haven't done it for a while, stand up, I'll go, I'm not sure. Do I want to fly all the way there? And then anytime I get on stage, I just get off and I go, oh my gosh, I got to do this more. It's just, and to answer your original question, it's like, that's my first love, and like you never get over your first love. And it's just always fun to get on stage. And lately it's been interesting. Towards the end of the show, I'll take questions from the audience. We'll do a little Q&A. And that's always fun because you have no idea what people are going to ask. And people do have some really obscure, odd questions sometimes. And it's just fun to be unprepared,
Right.
Sometimes to not know where you're going with these people.
So
that'll be fun.
Are you doing that on this current tour, like when you're going to be at the Cabot?
Yeah.
You're doing Q&A?
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
Absolutely.
Are you going to allow the Stranger Things nerds or the boys fans to...
No, we screen at the door.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, that's what's weird. I can kind of pretty guess when I see somebody. I was like, okay, that guy, that couple there, they're 23. They probably came in from Stranger Things. Those people came from Kaminsky Method. Those folks who look my age, they came in from Mad About You. There's a really
right.
It's an expanding audience. But for the large part of the crowd, it's interesting. When Mad About You was on originally in the 90s, I wasn't doing stand-up, so I didn't really get out there and see its impact. But I feel it now when I'll talk to the crowd, and like that somebody invariably will have a story of, boy, an episode of Mad About You they loved, or a running joke, or that meant a lot that they do in their house, or the episode that meant a lot, and and we've kind of grown up together. So we were getting married at the same time, and then we had kids at the same time, and now we're getting older at the same time.
Right.
So there is this continuum with that audience that's really fun. And when they, when I can look on the crowd and say, yeah, these are my people. I know these people.
With the Stranger Things, Kate Bush had an amazing bump in her song "Running Up That Hill" from the show Metallica. With Master of Puppets. Are you seeing anything like that? Are teenagers coming up to you going, "Oh my God, you're Dr. Sam Owens from Stranger Things"? Are they going to have a Paul Reiser T-shirt and Forever 21 now?
No. Yeah, let's get that going.
Yeah.
Let's start up that machine. No, there's definitely, as I say, with somebody, if a 15-year-old comes over to me, I know it's not from Mad About You.
Right.
There's definitely a fervor. And I think I was telling you, I was over in Ireland this summer working on this film, and they're not used to. It's not like L.A. They're not used to seeing people pop out of their TVs, and you walk down the streets there. It's like, oh, they're going. Oh, hey, Sam Owens from Stranger Things. What are you doing here? Or from The Boys, and the audience for The Boys is a little bit more hardcore. I mean, those are real.
Oh yeah, I love that show. I love that show so much, and I love your character. First of all,
fun.
Is that based? It's kind of based on Stan Lee, not all of it, but kind of, right?
Yeah, I was told that it was. We kind of created something different, and a lot of it was based. The look, anyway, was based on Bob Evans, legendary producer.
Oh yes.
And but that was with the look we were going for. But it's not such a stretch for me to be the old guy, and I was doing this scene with Jack Quaid, and I think we actually just ad-libbed those lines. I go, how does he not know who I am? Read a book, kid. And it's like,
it's so good.
Yeah,
so
I am
good.
older than these guys by far.
And some championship name dropping. Like, I know that it's probably written in the script. Is any of that improvised?
No, we were playing with that and just trying to come up with who would be the obscure women of desire from the 80s that you would go, I had a thing with her. So I hope nobody was offended.
I believe there was like
taken with love.
There was like a Suzanne Plachette reference at one point, and
no, it wasn't Suzanne Plachette. Okay. I'm trying to remember. It was Kelly LeBrock, I think.
Oh, maybe,
in there.
Yeah. It's just so many of these random names, people that you may have seen on Love Boat or something like that. Oh, so great. I love that so much. Well, excited to see you doing your stand-up again. You're going to be at the Cabot Theater in Beverly. That's coming up on October 22nd. You can go to paulreiser.com to get tickets, right?
Yep, go get their tickets, and if they mention that they heard this interview, they get a free straw with every beverage.
Wow!
So that's a very exciting bonus for your people.
That's incredible.
Come on down. I'm looking forward, and I grew up in New York, and so there's always, to me, there's something about East Coast. It's just always a little bit funnier. It's just a little bit closer to home.
Right.
And I'm going all over the country these days, and it's great everywhere. But being back east, it's a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to the Cabot Theater, and Mike, if you're there.